Hello everyone, I'm PrussianPrince with another Total War Warhammer 2 tournament match cast. Now, this is round, I believe, 4 of the Turin Single Faction War number 5 tournament. And in here, I'm playing as Bretonnia up against the Lizardman of none other than HjalleNalle, a very good Lizardman player, who I believe has not been playing as much recently, but still seems to be playing, so cool to see. Now again, since this is, let me check if it's actually round 4. Yes, it is round 4, just double checking, you know. So, okay, now, what do we got here? Well, again, I'm Bretonnia, and Hjalle is on Lizardman, so typically a Lizardman favorite matchup for sure, but this map does help Bretonnia a little bit, and you will see why in a moment. So, here we have King Luan Leoncoeur. Of course, I would be bringing him on his Baki with Sword of Corone, the Lion's Shield, and of course the Ladies Champion. And we have, for single entities, yes, one Paladin on a Pegasus with Guardian. Also we have the Damsel of a Life in play, on foot actually. Earthblood, Awakening of the Wood, and Life Bloom. For the rest of the composition, well, actually, typical Bretonnia style, 5 peasant mob up front, then we have a bunch of archers behind them. Looks like it is actually 5 archers. We have some pox arrows, 3 pox arrows perhaps? Yeah, and the other 2 are just regular peasant bowmen. No actual strong infantry, just the token peasant mob in this case. For cavalry, we do have a bunch of questing knights. That is 2 questing knights there, and the Arwarkbans of Kinnell, as you know, this amazing unit. Now let's go over what the lizards have. Lizards. Well. Interesting choice here. We have Krokar with Hand of Gods, so that's going to be very important to keep in mind. We do of course see the Skink Priest of Beasts. This is the caster with Manticore Summoner and Manticore Summon and Flock of Doom, is that? Yes. And we have of course 2 Bastiladons, both the Solar Engine variant as expected in this matchup, very stable stuff. Of course we do have the Saurus Scar veteran in play as well. That has a lot of single entities on from the Lizardman side, and that's something you would typically expect, indeed, from the Lizardman. Very strong single entities, so playing to his strengths here is HjalleNalle. Now, of course, we do have 2 Pterodon Riders on each flank. This is very important. They are very, very annoying units that could really pose a lot of trouble to us. So, the rest of the composition, well, we do have a bunch of Saurus Spears with shields. Actually 4 of them. We do have the Legion of Chaka, that's the Chocolate Legion, and the Cohort of Sotek. Very, very interesting choice bringing those. They will munch on all the infantry. They even have some decent AP. They also have Poison, which is very, very interesting, but they do not have spears. However, they have refused to die, and also they have 30 armor, so I feel like this is not the unit that you want to bring in this matchup, but it's gonna be a bit rough, but we'll see. Maybe it's just like was expecting me to bring some foot squares, because I suppose they will do alright against foot squares with their AP. Anyway, it is time to hit play and watch the battle unfold. So right now we have Pterodon shooting at peasant mob here. Pterodon is actually getting shot here by the peasant archers, which is good. We have Luan chasing them. One paladin here chasing these Pterodons. Orfield Trebuchet is targeting down the blobs here of the lizards. Well, actually, Legion of Chaka, Saurus Spears. So you don't want your trebs to actually target the same unit, because if you do that, there is a chance of them, you know, overhitting one unit. I believe there's a specific term for that, but, you know, I don't have the term quite on hand. Alright, so we have the Pterodon Riders coming around. They're trying to get either the Trebs or the Archers would be excellent targets for them. Well, Luan's getting hit here, but Luan's really trying to annoy those Pterodon Riders. We have the Paladins really going in for those as well. More peasant bowmen trying to run here, but the Pterodons are starting to try and drop the bombs. No, Paladin here and Luan doing great against the Pterodons, but... Yep. So more targeting going down, so it might hit 2 units here, which would be huge. Of course, Luan is really getting poisoned. He's already down to half HP due to the poison. But at least him being here and keeping some of the Pterodons away does allow these peasant bowmen to fire now, without being annoyed. However, here come these Pterodons. They could be very, very annoying if they decide to drop their bombs, but they have not done anything there yet. So Luan is here. He is, of course, starting to heal. Paladin just chasing away these Pterodons. And these Pterodons here are actually... Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and drop the bombs soon, and they might. But they actually miss a lot. Here the peasant mob are slowing down these Solar Spears. You know, targeting down this unit is very juicy. Oh, Paladin getting hit here by the Solar Engines. Now, the Solar Engines hitting the Paladin is... It's very annoying for the Paladin, of course. But this does mean that, you know, peasant bowmen and trebuchets can fire really nicely here. And that's great because... Ooh, some of these Solar Spears coming back as well. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure why they're not pushing forward at this point. But yeah, there's a really nice formation over here. And again, these trebuchets are in a fairly nice position as well as these ones. It's difficult to hit them with solar engines. These ones, yeah, it's easier for those. Now this Paladin here is in a lot of trouble. Looks like the solar engines did a lot of work. Balance of power is still pretty even, however. We have the companions here, which, yeah, they need to be careful. More Pterodons over here, but again, the Trebs are really doing work here. There's a bunch of them missing, but still. You have Chaka being targeted as well. They do have 75 armor, slightly more than the regular Solar Spears. Paladin is going to be chased off the field, but Luan's still alive. And there's the Solar Spear unit that actually is out of position and will go down. However, some Solar Engines will be doing some work. Sort of Groan is popped to help kill those Solar Spears. Some more peasant bowmen coming away, and looks like, ooh, these Pterodon riders actually come in to engage some peasant bowmen here, but they do get caught, so this is not a good trade for the lizardmen. Over here you see this, yeah, this Pterodon rider is actually wavering, but it's only just terrified, so it should be coming back soon. Alright, so more shots coming in from those units. Ooh, Hand of Gods. Ooh, all of it hits Luan, and more solar engines as well, so that is huge hits onto Luan there. The balance of power is looking so good. Paladin is here, and actually the interesting fact is that the leadership is fine and might actually take out those Pterodons, which is huge. Still some questing knights over here on the right flank. Peasant bowmen coming back. Balance of power starting to go a little bit into Bretonia's favor, just a tad, I believe. Yeah, not too much. And here again we see the trebuchets shooting all those spears. Not ideal to target this unit, but I suppose why not? And now all these Solar Spears here are starting to take a lot of damage. These Trebs here looks like they got hit, but Pterodons are definitely trying to do work. So again, lots of questing knights here. They could have actually been doing some work here potentially, but yeah. Okay, so now these Pterodon riders will be in a lot of trouble because they're gonna get chased off the field. Balance of power going quite heavily in favor of Bretonia. More trebuchets doing work here, and they could get some nice volleys here as now the lizard formation starts turning around. It's like the lizards are trying to push this flank here, which is not ideal. I believe the lizards should come in head on like this, because then they could delegate forces to attack that treb and this treb, because right now it's gonna be very hard for them to say, if they take out this part of the army, to then come down like this. Right, because they have to go down through this treb over here, and then they have to go like this to take out this treb, which is not ideal whatsoever. But more peasant bowmen doing work here, and again, some solar engines coming here, but this is just more and more time for the trebs to do damage and get value, and there's not a lot of peasant bowmen left, so that was actually really good, taking care of all the peasant bowmen, well, for the most part, but they've already done some work, and especially the trebs here are being so brutal to the lizardman infantry. And once the lizards are out of infantry, then things start to get rough here, because they really need some infantry to support their single entities here. Otherwise they could get singled out. Ooh, that was a good hit on those questing knights for sure. Look at how many went down there. Wow, that was a huge hit. still value is being gained due to the trebs here. However, again, the lizards do have a slightly loose formation, so their treb shots don't do as much damage as they could theoretically do. Here we have Luan actually getting hit by the poison attacks here. Ooh, and that's a nice solar engine hit as well. So here we actually have the Sword of Corone popped, which is good because that does debuff debuff the armor on the enemy units. However, there's the missile resistance ability popped, which is the Legion of Chaka's ability. Now, more and more of these Saurus Spears are around here, which could go down soon. This Saurus Spear, of course, gets taken out. It's going to be something done here as well. So we have the Cohort of Sotek over here. There's going to be a, Awakening of the Wood actually should have been popped onto the... Oh no, the Cohort of Sotek is here. Refusing to die, so there will be like 51 of them. So even though it's refusing to die, it is taking a lot of HP damage here, so a lot of the entities are about to die here. Luan is still over there, bounce power more and more in favor of Britonia, but that spawn is gonna change things a little bit. Now watch these models go down soon, just against like peasant mob. They're going down, so yeah, that's pretty funny. Now Treb's still doing more damage, and almost no infantry left for the Lizardmen, and of course this is one of the last infantry units that the Lizards have. More Trebs shooting in, and yeah, balance of power actually coming back a little bit into this favor. Now, this Manticore here is doing really good work against the Damsel, and we see this companion unit has to save the Damsel at this point, because... Yeah, now we still have some Peasant Bowmen trying to target down all these Saurus Spears. There's still a couple of Saurus Spears, which are really annoying at this point. These units here doing great. We have the Paladin. Now, the problem is... Yeah, this Damsel here is going down, as is the Peasant Bowman. Actually, this Peasant Bowman possibly should have been given up. It's just a regular Peasant Bowman. And we don't have a charge from the Companions of Canal here. This is really bad. So they're stuck here. Actually not stuck, but we have more questings coming around. Now these Companions, they're really strong, but... Yeah, solo against all these units, they're not going to do so great. Feral Manticore actually coming out here, which is not ideal, but again, Trebs will start doing work here. There's a nice Flock of Doom, so this Companion of Canal unit will go down without getting much value, actually. So, I mean, we're gonna start hitting here with the Trebs. So, this is gonna do some work, but I don't think it's worth it, especially because we're able to pop like Earthblood or Shield of Thorns or something. This may have been a lot better. Still, however, this is the Lizardman blob, and it is working out. We have the Sword of Corone popped, so a nice little debuff here. We see some more hits from the Trebs. Some of the Questing Knights charging into the fray here. And at this point, this should be it for the Lizardmen. The huge surround here. We see Krokkar, Solar Engines surrounded, and they're going to be taking massive damage. And soon they shall round the field. We have some Questing Knights pulling out. And yeah, some peasant mob are actually running away, and of course the companions did get crowded, but still balancing power heavily in favor of Britonia. There's an Awakening of the Wood to slow down the enemy. And here we see, yeah, once this charge happens, hopefully it should be able to work. So Krokkar here is fighting against Luan, a Paladin, and these Questing Knights, and getting debuffed on top of it by poison. While this single unit here is stopping all of those, so Krokkar here is going to go down. He's cold-blooded, however, and that does actually help keep him stabilized. Now he's routed, though, because of army losses. And that is going to be it. Very nice tactical game, basically, this one. And that is it. So I advance to the next round after taking out HjalleNalle. So let's take a look at statistics here. We do have some work from the one, but not as much as you'd expect. Paladin, okay-ish. Of course, the Peasant Bowmen here, as I said, they did pretty well in general. Questing Knights doing work. Trebs, yeah, the Trebs really carried this. 3 Trebs. For the Lizards, we have Krokkar with some values as you'd expect. Saurus Spears, again, these were the losers of this army because they got singled out at several points during the battle and killed Surprisingly, the Court of Sodic got the most value, probably because it is unbreakable, so even if it got singled out, it couldn't be routed that easily. Laerdon's almost paying for themselves in general, but not really. Of course, Solar Engines almost always paying for themselves in this matchup. This is it for this match, so thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. See you all next time.